Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So in today's video we are looking at the portfolio. It's that time again, but this time we're going to do things slightly different. And what I mean by that is, what I want to talk about today is how this portfolio has performed since the beginning of the portfolio. So this portfolio started May 2020. Okay, since then it's done amazingly. So what I want to do is I want to share with you the journey it's been, how much money I've made, how much dividends I've made, what percentage, and what the plan is moving forward. I want to talk about the buys and sales for the month of December. As well as that, I want to talk about the general markets first. But before I do talk about the general markets and investment thesis and all of that stuff, I want you to do a couple of things for me. There's 49% of you guys that watch the videos on weekly basis are not subscribed to the channel. Now, if you have an account and you're already signed into your account, pressing that like button and subscribing to the channel is probably the easiest thing you could do for me. And that genuinely helps me to actually produce more content. InshaAllah, gives me the motivation that I need, InshaAllah, moving forward. What I'm doing here is I'm sharing my journey. I'm exposing every penny that I make, what is happening, and you see this every single week. This screen is what you see whenever we start. The reason I'm doing that is so I be as transparent as I possibly can, to help people out there, not to showcase, not to show off. Wallahi al-Azim, that's not my plan. All I want to do is help brothers and sisters who are like-minded, who are thinking about investing in the stock market or already basically investing in the stock market, to get some ideas. It's not financial advice, but it's just to see some random dude on YouTube doing something that you potentially might want to do. And then you might just learn one or two things that can help you. And all I ask in return is if you can actually like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your family and friends. Okay, because there are so many people out there that have absolutely no idea of basically how to invest in the stock market. There are people that actually go around telling people it's haram to invest in the stock market with have no base whatever. I get it, there's stuff. If you were talking about the S&P 500 generally, investing, for example, I don't know, Vanguard strategies, life strategies and all of that stuff, yeah, I get it, that's haram and so, right? But don't tell people just basically everything is haram. And there are people that are going out about just doing that kind of thing. So educate as many brothers and sisters as you possibly can. Pass on as much as you've learned. Pass it on. Don't hold that information, okay? Just be mindful. Sometimes people don't really know you. I'm very mindful of what I'm sharing here and how some people might take this as I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I shouldn't be. Whatever it is, I don't really care. What I genuinely care is sharing my journey with everybody. And InshaAllah, if it benefits one person, I've achieved something. And that's my goal, InshaAllah. The second thing I would like you to do is if you can join us in the Patreon account. Again, of course, this involves you spending some money, okay, to help the channel, InshaAllah. And you get access to all of these things, including Discord, where I'm trying to build a community of like-minded people who are sharing amazing news every single day, things they're doing, they're sharing their portfolios and so on. And I really genuinely appreciate their input into everything that basically they're doing. So InshaAllah, that's the plan. If you haven't liked this video yet, please do that, okay, right now, because it doesn't cost you a penny and it definitely helps me. Now let's talk about the market. So beginning of 2023, every single person out there was talking about a couple of things. They were talking about interest rates being really high. The Fed is still increasing in interest rates, and the UK and everywhere else, and recession coming in 2023. And if you had then said to people at that point, in 2023 we're not going to have a recession, of course the interest rates will go up a bit, but eventually they will stop going up, and the S&P 500 will be up 25%. People will look at you and think you're crazy. And that's exactly what has happened. Right now, the S&P 500 at the end of December was up 25%. We had no recession in the US, maybe in the UK, but in the US there was no recession. And unemployment is still low in the US. Interest rates have stopped going up. Okay, and so the Fed has stopped it now, and possibly might start cutting and so on. So now a lot of people will now tell you, oh, this is what's going to happen in 2024. This is what's going to happen in 2024. And the reason I'm bringing this message up now is I want you to stop and think about the bigger picture. I don't want you to listen to S&P 500 and not the S&P 500, the CNBC news and the Bloomberg. And then whenever they say, oh, the S&P 500 is going to crash this and this and this, just focus on your own goals. What is your goal? Is it to invest in the stock market for the next 20 years? So why, if that's the case, why does it matter what happens next year? Why does it matter what happens tomorrow or next day? Because you're going to buy quality companies, dollar cost average into these companies, and leave the basically portfolio, let it grow. Okay, and if I can, just for the small amount of time that I've been investing, this is the evidence. Okay, I've been in the red before, but this is the evidence, and I can prove it to you. Somewhere, along these lines, I don't know when it was, but at some point, basically last year, this portfolio was actually in the red. I can't remember exactly when it was. Okay, it doesn't matter, but it was in the red. But as you can see from the day that I started, okay, June, May, whatever of 2020, since then it's been going up every single month because I've added new money and so on and so on. So the moral of the story is focus on your long-term plan. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Focus on the quality, buying quality companies, holding them for a long time. Also, not just companies, ETFs. If you're a brand new investor, you don't know a lot of the stock market and so on, please focus on the long-term plan and basically focus on ETFs and don't worry about anything else. ETF is a very good way of investing in the stock market because you're buying a basket of companies instead of just buying one single company. Again, if you're into into companies like I don't know, the companies that don't pay any dividends, again, that's absolutely fine because that's your plan. That's what you want to do. You are not investing in the dividend companies. You're investing in companies that are high growth companies. Okay. Now, you see something like this, like what is happening today, and people start panicking. People start selling their stocks. This is not the kind of thing that you need to do. Okay. So maybe someone selling in basically Nvidia today or Broadcom, that doesn't mean we should all sell them. Okay. Because and also, don't let this basically trick you into buying some of these companies today, because when you look at it for the 1 year, these companies are up over 200%. Some of them are up 100%. Some of them are up 94% and so on. So just don't let this fool you. Okay. So the fact that we have a red day today is beautiful. I would love to see more of this in the next coming weeks and months so I can buy high quality companies across the whole S&P 500. So I can buy high quality companies and hold them for the next 15 to 20 years. Inshallah, that's the plan. But sometimes these are the losers. These are basically the companies or the companies that are gaining today. Now let's talk about one more thing. The fear and greed index today is actually extreme greed, which means people still think, so it might change the next couple of days if we see more reds like this. But right now, as we speak, we are here. Okay. At one point, we were here not long ago, and that was the time. Basically, you should be buying them, these high quality companies, and that's the time I was telling you to go away and buy these companies. Right now, let's have a look at the buys and the sells for this month. So as you can see here, I made one sell this month. It wasn't actually a sell. I sold it, but it was a trim. So I still own 5 shares of Broadcom, but the reason I sold it is because I wanted to take something off the table because it was up over closer to 200 percent. So I basically sold it, 2 shares. That gave me £1,000 in profit and 800 basically something. That was my capital I got back, and that money I put it straight into majority of it into Lindy. Now I've added to all 4 of these companies, and I actually bought 5 shares of Lindy, and I just bought the Invesco Dow Jones Islamic ETF, only 2.5 shares, and this is something I'm going to continue adding to the next few months. So I'm going to buy a weekly basis, inshallah. That's the plan. It might work, it might not work, but I'm going to try to add 1 share of basically this ETF every single week until I build a good sized position. And the reason I'm doing that is because in the long run, inshallah, I would love, as much as I love in analyzing individual stocks, if these ETFs continue reducing their expense ratio and basically performing as well as they have in the last couple of years, inshallah, I will actually have more ETFs and less companies, because maintaining these companies and looking after them and just making sure that you trim, you do this and that, is actually quite time consuming. Right now I have the time to do these things, but maybe 20 years from now on, 10 years from now on, that might not be the case. So that's the reason why I'm actually starting to buy more ETFs, inshallah, as we move forward. So in this month I spent £3,288. 1,800 came from the sale of Broadcom or the trim, and that was 1,483 new money that went into the portfolio this month. Now this now needs to go up to at least to 2,300 for the next 3 months, because I need to max my ISA account. And now that leads me to one more thing, okay, and this is the performance of the portfolio since the beginning of the year. So since basically May 2020, sorry, not the year, since the portfolio started, May 2020 up until now, the money that I've added, my own cash, is £73,285. Current value, just slightly over this, because I did this a couple of days ago, and of course because the market is open today, slightly higher than that, but £90,317 at the time of doing this. Gains was £17,000. So I again made £17,000 while I have this portfolio. Now that gives me about 23% total return, basically on my return on my investment since I started this whole portfolio. So about just over 3 years, okay, I made this much. And alhamdulillah, for me to make £17,000 in gains, that's absolutely wonderful. Realized gains, meaning money that I've already made, is £7,781 in realized gains from companies that I sold, and dividends was £3,588. In total, that gave me £11,370. This is money that I actually made already and reinvested back into the portfolio, because I don't take anything out of this portfolio. So that's my deposit. That's where currently the portfolio is. That's how much I actually made. That's in percentage. And this is realized gains, total dividends, total amount that I made, £11,370, which is quite a lot. So when you focus on the long run, this is the long-term plan. And this is why I keep saying to a lot of brothers and sisters out there, don't basically buy and sell stocks out, whatever. Sometimes you need to wait for a couple of years. Like I had Broadcom for I think now 3 years since I started the portfolio. I've been talking about this company for so long. So, and I trimmed it, and I still want to hold on to at least the next 5 to 10 years. Okay. I trimmed it because my portfolio is still small, and sometimes you have to take profit off the table, and that's what I like to do. Okay. I made this much by doing what I just said. Okay. So yeah, I'm managing my portfolio. Again, what you might want to do is look at your portfolio and think about what you would like to do going forward. That's a decision that you have to make. Because I'm doing this, it doesn't mean it's the right way. Okay. I could be wrong. I could lose all this money. But again, I'm taking a chance in the stock market and buying quality companies I want to hold for a long time. And inshallah, it will pay off in the long run. Okay. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do, inshallah. I've now added about £3,300, for this week. So I'll be buying something with that next couple of days. Now you can pause the video and have a look at the breakdowns. But a couple of things I just want to mention, some companies. So 3M, like I've always said to you guys, I will sell this company as soon as I actually break even. Now I'm down actually 21%. It has come back down. Actually, at one point I was down over 1,500. So ASML is actually down quite a bit today because of some situation with China and so on. I've shared that on the Discord. AstraZeneca is one of the companies I will be adding to, inshallah, coming weeks. Broadcom, like I said, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it there for now. Hershey is one of the companies I'm definitely buying more of as we go forward. Invesco, like I said, I will buy weekly, inshallah. That's the plan. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these ETFs. I was thinking today, just sell it and put the money into here, but I want to keep both of them. But at the same time, I might replace this one with, because I was looking at the companies in there. I don't really know. I haven't made a decision yet. It's up about 17% since I actually bought it. So I really don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Inshallah, I'll let you guys know what I do with it. If I sell it, it will probably be put that money straight into this one or buy another ETF. And I'm going through all the ETFs again just to kind of for myself, to kind of remind myself what's out there. Linde is one of the companies that again I've added to the portfolio recently, so I will be buying more of that. Medtronic is actually coming back. It's quite nice, almost less than 8%. Before I move on, J&J, Medtronic, and Merck, and what else do I have? AstraZeneca might struggle moving forward in this year. The reason I said that is in an election year, especially in the US, what tends to happen is both parties fight over basically who's going to give the cheapest prices for drugs and all of that stuff. So because of that's what they're doing, normally these companies do not perform as well as they should. But again, I don't really care because I'm not worried about what might happen this year. I'm focusing on the next 5 to 10 years. So I'm holding on to them. I'm not touching it. Public storage is amazing. It's actually come back. Now I think it's like my third biggest holding in this portfolio, which is absolutely amazing. It's now up almost to 5%, over 5%, which is really, really good. RBM still buying, BMB. Rio Tinto, I would love to buy more, but it's just gone up so much. And Unilever, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to sell it. I made a decision to hold on to it. I'm just going to collect my dividends and see what happens to it. If a couple of maybe months down the line, I might decide if it comes back, I might sell it, because in terms of growth side of it is flat for years. It has not done great things. So the fact that I've got over £4,000 just basically dead sitting there, I might just take that money or I might hold on to it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't made a decision. I'll let you know. Union Pacific, great company, keeping on in the portfolio, and the rest of them exactly nothing has happened yet. Basically, this one is actually not undervalued, but it's like fairly valued at the moment. So Visa, but I'm not adding to it since I'm up actually 20% right now. So there you have it. That's the portfolio overall. You can pause the video and have a look at it at any stock that you want to look at. So what's my plan moving forward? My plan is to carry on sharing the portfolio with you guys, because I genuinely think that will help a lot of you out there. And of course, I'm just going to continue doing this, inshallah, as long as I can. I have £6,700 to add between now and the 6th of April, and I'm actually forcing myself. I've got a couple of other projects I'm working on. Basically, I have my emergency fund right now, and if it comes down to using it for the portfolio, I will use it, okay? Because what I don't want to do is not basically max my account this year. That's the plan. My £20,000, I'm going to do that, inshallah. That's the plan, unless something crazy happens. That's what I'm continue doing, inshallah. And of course, if you're enjoying the content at this point, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you have any questions. And as always, please focus on the long-term plans. Don't focus on the fluctuation of the prices, what's happening day to day. And just make sure people talk about recessions, people talk about interest rates, people talk about this and that. But you know what's important to me and to you? It should be the fact that you're buying high quality companies, holding on for a long term, knowing that, okay, you could potentially 10 years from now, inshallah, once I do one of these updates, okay, this portfolio will be way higher than where it is. The gains will be better. The dividends will be even better. The realized gains, inshallah. That's the plan. That's what I'm going to continue doing. So what I want to do is next, I'm going to record another video today, inshallah. I'll release it tomorrow for the dividends that I made this month, because it was absolutely amazing to see basically the amount of dividend that I've received basically last month. So that's coming up, inshallah. If you're enjoying this type of content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, join us on the Patreon account as well to help the channel. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.